Hello guys, how's it going? Hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving. My name is Dalaran, and in this video I want to do a tie-in to a video I've done already. The video in question is passively / effectively leveling in Battle for Azeroth. With that video, I've actually been using the World of Warcraft EXP / rep token for the 14th anniversary quite a lot, and I thought to myself that it will be the best way for me to catch up to Dark Iron Dwarves and prepare myself for whenever Culturans are released. With the announcement of when Zandalari and Culturans will come out, which will be in patch 8.1.5, they're really right around the corner. And a lot of the allied races are fairly easy to unlock. It's mostly all about that early prep work. If you can prepare for it early, you'll be able to play your brand new allied races, Zandalari trolls or Culturan humans, as soon as possible. So in this video, I kind of just wanted to give you guys some of the passive methods, whether you want to spend a lot of time into World of Warcraft or mostly not really, of getting a reputation right now for those classes and doing it as effectively as possible. Hopefully with the intention that as soon as Zandalari come out or Culturans come out, you guys will be able to do the story for them, log in, make your first Culturan or Zandalari, and begin leveling as soon as patch 8.1.5 reveals itself. So in this video, I'll be talking about all the different rep farming methods, starting with newest stuff that we have right now in Battle for Azeroth, things for you guys to watch out for when it comes to Zandalari trolls, Culturans, as well as talk a bit about the current Mako Orc and Dark Iron, if you guys are not aware, and then kind of take it back towards what you can do with all the other allied races, in case you guys did not get the allied races during Legion and are still interested in playing some Void Elves and Nightborn. I feel like right now, the best way to get the most amount of reputation per effective use is to do emissaries. Every time you complete an emissary for whichever faction you're doing world quest and you turn in that emissary, you get about 1,500 reputation. All it requires for you to do is to just do 4 measly world quests for that faction, turn in the emissary and get the rewards. Technically, if you're someone who is pretty hardcore at the game or simply just want to grind out the rep, you can do every world quest associated with that rep, but you technically don't have to. In a single sitting, taking maybe anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes, you can get yourself 1,500 rep towards that faction. You can even specify which world quest you can do, as some drop you literally reputation as a reward, so you can kind of double that up altogether. The reputation you'll start wanting to farm for both the Culturans and the Zandalari would be 1. Zandalari Empire or Proudmoore Admiralty. This one is going to be different depending which faction you're on, so hopefully you guys have at least a 120 on each faction in case, let's say, you want to play Culturan in the future, or you're thinking maybe swapping to the Horde and play Zandalari. As always, it's a good idea to check in on the command table in case the rep for the faction you're farming is available. Then when it comes to the current allied races we have right now, the Dark Iron and the Mako Orcs, to farm the rep for these two factions, there's actually so many more things you guys can do. 1, getting your emissaries done every single week or whenever they are available, I guess, is going to be a good idea. Then you also have the island expeditions for each faction. Whether you're Alliance or Horde, once you complete all of your island expeditions for that one character and you unlock the weekly bonus for the island expedition, you'll get a bulk of reputation on top of that. Whenever the warfronts are available, gaining some warfront contributions towards your faction can also net you some rep. And doing the actual Arathi quests once your faction controls it also can get you a bit of extra rep. Also, once you have an outpost in the enemy faction for the Honorbound or the 7th Legion, let's say you're an alliance and you got some outposts in Zuldazar, doing every single quest at every one of those established outposts, like it usually be a quest to go kill a very powerful mob that maybe might need 1 or 2 players to help you, unless you have the gear for it, those quests also give you a little bit extra reputation. So be sure, if you've never done any of the quests, to kill some of the rare elites or powerful mobs in the enemy areas, be sure to check your outposts whenever available. All of this rep is modified if you have, let's say, the WoW anniversary token for 40% more rep, or if you don't have that available. Outside of that, you would have the Darkmoon Fair and the Darkmoon Fair hat, which will offer you 10% more extra experience, but also 10% extra reputation. So it's a good idea to combo those if you want to spend as least time as possible doing those activities to get the most amount of rep. There is also potential for incursions once they come out in patch 8.1 to also net you guys extra reputation. We don't really know exactly how incursions are going to work in terms of the rewards, and I'm not convinced with what they have right now in PTR as the final product. I feel it's a lot of the placeholder, and I feel like Blizzard is going to adjust them maybe before the patch comes out or afterwards, but I don't think that that will be our final product. But look out for incursions whenever those come out once patch 8.1 is released, because those give you an extra chance for a bit extra rep. Not sure who it will be with though. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the 7th Legion and the Honor Bound, which will be for Maghar and Dark Iron, but it will be also kind of cool if, depending on which zone is getting assaulted, you will also get rep with whatever the faction that controls that zone. So let's say if City of Zuldazar is getting attacked, maybe you'll get the Zendalari Empire rep on top of the Honor Bound rep. And for Alliance, it would be like the 7th Legion and the Proudmoore Admiralty if Borealis is just getting pelted. Then you also have your older allied races. You have the Nightborn, you have the High Mountain Tauren, you have the Void Elves, and then you have the Lightforged Draenei. The best part about farming rep for Legion factions is exactly the same as the current factions. It's almost like they copy-pasted a lot of the content. Jokes aside, actually it is exactly the best way to do it, just to do your emissary chests, emissary quests. If you want to do extra world quests for that faction, whether it be in the new Argus region for the Alliance, or basically everywhere else for the Horde factions, then you can. It's also a good idea to complete a lot of the quests for that faction whenever you have it available, like the main storyline quests. A lot of those can net you a great amount of extra experience, and some of them might even ask you to do world quests at one point or another. So this is a good idea to just focus on the main story as much as you can, and then eventually get around to doing world quests, because you'll have a quest asking you to do some world quests anyway. For the Alliance players, you don't really have too many options in terms of how you can farm your factions, be it the Lightforged Draenei or the Void Elves. The only thing you can do is go to Argus and do world quests there and emissaries whenever those are available. Depending on how much you progress back in Legion, your command table might actually offer you a bit extra tokens in order to get a little bit extra rep with some of those factions. It's all kind of RNG, but if you played Legion like as a character who mained it, for example, and you have a lot of progression towards your order hall, chances are you have a couple different missions from there where you can get these tokens that give you a bit extra rep. When farming rep for Alliance allied races, it's a good idea to check out whenever the invasions are available. There will be a demon invasion, and once you kill the main boss of that invasion, there's a pretty good chance that he might drop a token, and that token is a bit randomized. Like for example, if you want the Draenei rep but it gives you the Void Elf rep, or the other way around, that sometimes can happen. But at least that's a chance for you guys to have some sort of a daily goal, even with one character or multiple if that's what you're interested in, since that token can be mailed around your character, so you can really just mail it to one character who could just get a bulk of that XP. Outside of that, make sure to do your emissaries whenever they're available, and again, make sure to check your command table from time to time. Now, when doing the allied races for the Horde, you're going to have the Nightborn and the High Mountain Tauren. It's a great idea to do the main story for both of those, especially the ones for the Nightborn. The storyline for Suramar is a pretty expensive one, and it lasts for a very, very long time. When it was time gated, it ended up being over periods of just weeks and weeks, so that's going to be a lot of free rep that you guys can collect just from that. Of course, doing world quests and emissaries for both of those factions is also going to be viable, and checking out the command table is also a really good idea. It's also great when Kirin Tor is available as an emissary for the event. If you do a Kirin Tor world quest, which is only 3 of them, and they're fairly easily done nowadays, as most of them are not even a gear checked, but rather just simple puzzles. Once you complete those, go back to Dalaran in Legion, you will be able to talk to the emissary and get yourself a choice of which faction rep do you want to grind to. This is available again for both of the allied races of the Alliance and the Horde of Legion, so be sure to be on the lookout for any Kirin Tor quest lines and quest chains. Now, I think a lot of you guys were probably gonna ask me, hey Dalaran, is there any way to really farm this experience? Like, is there any mobs that can just go grind out for long-term periods of time? Is there anything that is repeatable that I can just do over and over and over to just shoot up my rep? There's no easy way of going about it as of Battle for Azeroth. A lot of it is locked down to either doing world quests, which you can grind, or doing the emissaries, which will give you the biggest boost in terms of reputation. So it feels like whether you want to go try hard or whether you want to go casual, the difference between the amount of rep you will get is going to be a little bit faster if you go hardcore, but not by a mile. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of not being able to grind out that rep in literally a few days, but this is something that a lot of you guys can start working on early. The best way to start working towards this reputation, in case there's an allied race you're interested in and would want to play in the future, is to work on that reputation right now. The earlier you start working on those different reputations, the faster you can get the rep unlocked early. It's really just all about having the endurance and commitment to want to get in there every single couple days, I guess, every time world quests are available and the emissary is available, and making sure to keep track with it every time it is up. It's not really something where you can just kind of brute force your way through because of like the time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully this gave you a few ideas of how to efficiently farm for your rep. Make sure to check whenever the Darkmoon Fair is up and running, because that can give you a little bit extra XP now or around patch 8.1. Hopefully by the time 8.1.5 rolls around and you get the allied races you guys actually want to play. And be sure to utilize the Blizzard 14th year anniversary token while you have it. Trust me, you'll be able to get a good chunk of reputation, and you guys will be happy that you started this rep grind way back in the day instead of having to work on it then. To watch this video, I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you guys in another one.